What's up, you guys? Welcome back to WideBody Nation. So you got 50 grand to spend, and you realize that used Hellcats are dipping into that 40s and 50s territory, and we've got the hottest car on the market, the 2021 Dodge Charger Scat Pack Widebody, that's hovering in that high 40s, well into the 50s, depending on what options you go with. But you got 50 grand. Which one do you go with? So in this video, we are going to find an example of each. So we got this Destroyer Gray example of a used Hellcat 2017 right here, and then we're going to build out a lightly optioned but tastefully optioned 2021 Dodge Charger Scat Pack Widebody and compare the two on a somewhat subjective basis, but then also on a objective basis. True cost to own, insurance, depreciation, because depreciation is something to consider. Now we have this whole wide body versus normal body dichotomy here. Quick reminder before we jump into this Destroyer Gray example right here, we are on the road to 5,000 subscribers, at which time I will give away these Apple AirPods Pro, a $250 value. To enter to win those, just hit that subscribe button down below, turn it from red to gray, and let's jump into it. I will see you on a live stream for that drawing. So we got this Destroyer Gray, best color, changed my mind, example of a Hellcat. Now this one does have aftermarket wheels, and I believe they're the niche brand, or the niche, however you want to say that. I looked those up on Car ID. They have a bunch of different wheels, but just pretend that these are decent wheels. Let's leave the wheels out of it. Let's pretend this one had stock wheels. This example goes for, it's a 2017 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat with that nice black hood, Destroyer Gray, black interior, leather, 52,000 miles for just under 50 grand. Now, in my mind, off the bat, to me, that sounds like a pretty good value. I mean, just looking at it, obviously Destroyer Gray, my favorite color and the best color in my mind. Obviously, you get your 707 horsepower under there, only about 50,000 miles. So, I mean, this one's in pretty good shape. I'll go through some pictures for you guys. I mean, that Destroyer Gray is just hard to argue with. Looks good to me. It's got the caramel or the sepia interior. That's the word Dodge likes to use, sepia. A very odd word. I would have just maybe said something a little bit more understandable to the Main Street population. But, I mean, hey, so these are the wheels I was talking about. They might be forged, they might not. Let's just pretend that they are the Devil's Rim example or some other type of Mopar wheels, just so we make this comparison fair. All right, so like we said, we got the 707 horsepower. You guys already know what's in here. So 49 grand, let's call it 50 grand. 50 grand is our budget. Now, what are we getting for 2021 with 50 grand as the budget? Because as you guys know, Scat Packs start right under 50 grand at 48-ish. And then we got our $3,000 power dollars off for the 2021 model year, as opposed to 2020, where it was $48.50 off, $10 per horsepower. Let's jump over. I have an example pulled up for you right here at AutoNation Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram down here in Columbus, Georgia. And if you're saying, hey, WideBody Nation, hey, I'm in California, I'm in Las Vegas, I'm in Texas, everybody around here is overpaying. I'm in Atlanta, everyone's overpaying. You might have to get a car shipped, or you might have to drive 200, 300, 500 miles. Come down here to Columbus, Georgia. They're doing fair deals. MSRP minus power dollars, a little bit of dealer discount, and whatever other incentives you qualify for, and you get out. You get out with your car that you wanted, didn't get overcharged, got a great deal, and a little bit of drive, do the break-in period. So, with that being said, let's actually build one on the Dodge website real quick. But actually, let's jump into the more objective side of the house here. Now, the wide body package. As you guys know, it went from $6,000 in 2020 down to $5,500 in 2021. Now, what does that wide body package get you? It's not just getting you the OEM, the factory fender flares. You got to remember, it's getting you those nice deep dish rims, whichever ones you go with, whether you go with the Devil's Rim, or whether you actually go and upgrade to the more Hellcat style rim here. Both look amazing. You're getting those, and those rims are not cheap. I mean, 11-inch wide rims on 20s. I mean, those are significant amount of money, probably between probably 2 grand-ish for a set, if not more. If they're forged, definitely more. Then you got the tires that are wrapped around them, probably 300 to 400 bucks a tire. So I mean, you're already looking at pretty much the value there with just wheels and tires. Then you're getting the suspension to support the wide body package. Because everyone always says, hey, why don't you just buy a narrow body and then go get a wide body? I mean, if you're looking to hack your car up, maybe, but for an extra $5,500 and amazing resale value, which we will get to using the Edmunds.com true cost to own calculator, among other things, the value is here. Obviously, the big brakes, adaptive suspension, you're getting the tires, the wheels, flat bottom steering wheel, and those OEM fenders so that you don't have to do anything crazy to your car. With that being said, I mean, as much as I love the Hellcats, the Scat Pack is hard to turn down. So let's go ahead and build one out real quick to see how much, as far as like options, you could get if you're going to buy one as opposed to that used Hellcat. Let's keep the rims with the Devil's rims to save some money. And then let's go down here. And now basically you got a choice. You got a choice whether or not you want to upgrade the interior, do like Plus Group, driver convenience group, technology group, get real saucy on the interior, or do you want to go more like the Harman Kardon route with the sunroof and maybe, red brake calipers or change the rims? So I'm going to check out the red interior for y'all. That adds the Plus Group, remember. And so we're already creeping up on 50 grand because this factors in up here. This factors in the 3 grand off. Let's go ahead and add the driver convenience group because we don't want our headlights to look like the old incandescent light bulbs when we have LED daytime running lights. That just looks whack. Now we still got about $2,100 to spend real quick. So in my mind, you can't get both of these, but you could do the Harman Kardon. And then you got a couple $100 to spend. That's pretty much it right there. Maybe you want to get some locking lug nuts. But that is pretty much it, all things considered. Or, here's the other way you could go about it. You could go get rid of Harman Kardon. You can get rid of this Plus Group. And then you can go keep the driver convenience group so your car doesn't look like, the headlights don't look like crap. And then you go in Harman Kardon. You go in power sunroof. And then you might even have a little extra money to, can you toss on the brake calipers? You're kissing 50, but we'll let it slide. So that is what I'm letting you guys know. This example here at the dealership, it goes with the WideBody package, the Plus Group, Nav Group, and power sunroof. I left Nav out there because we have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Why not just use that instead of paying $1,000 for Nav that you're not going to use? That's just me though. Let's see, true cost to own. So we got our total cash price, and this, I do know that this says 2020. They don't have the data for 2021 yet, so we had to use 2020. I do apologize. Total cash price, that puts us right under 50K. Would you look at that? And this is saying the true cost to own for 5 years is $59,300. Now, how do they calculate that? They got depreciation, taxes, financing charges, fuel, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. Now, pay particular attention to this insurance, maintenance, and repairs, because that is the major, and depreciation. Those are the major differences when we're going to go between the Scat Pack WideBody that's a new car and then the used Hellcat. So let's check this out. Insurance, you're averaging about $100 a month. Maintenance, pretty much nothing, a little bit when you get into year 3 and 4. Repairs, nothing much. Taxes, inevitable, death and taxes. Financing charges, pretty much the same thing. If you're going to finance a $50,000 car, new car, you might get a little bit better of a rate. You probably will because the banks like to finance new cars over used cars. So it's a little bit less risky just in their calculations. Depreciation. Now, this one is what, in my mind, something you can argue because these wide body Scat Packs, if you don't blow a ton of money on getting some silly options, you're looking at, I think, a very slow depreciation curve. As you guys might know, the Dodge factory is closed down again, the one that produces the Chargers and the Challengers. Supply this year is going to be kind of limited. I'm not saying it's going to be super limited, like they're not numbered cars, but Scat Packs, they're just Scat Pack wide bodies. They're hot, and they're going to stay hot for a long time. Fuel, Going to be pretty similar between a Hellcat and a new SCAT pack, especially when you go wide body, narrow body. I mean, yeah, Hellcat's going to be a little bit worse. So true cost to own, $59. Let's jump over. So we went from $49 cash price, true cost to own is $59. Let's jump over to the Hellcat, and it gets out of hand real quick. Total cash price, let's just pretend like this is 50 grand because we found our example for 50 grand. This is just whatever, cars or Edmunds.com came up with. And it is for a 2017 Charger Hellcat 4-door. Bigger depreciation. You're taking a big hit when you get the car, although I would argue that it's going to be a more steady depreciation curve because it is no longer a new car. So that you got to take this with a grain of salt. So let's pretend depreciation. Let's put it on the side for now. Taxes, can't do anything about that. Financing charges about the same, $50,000 versus $50,000, probably a little bit more expensive for the Hellcat since it's a used car. Fuel looks like it's worse. Actually, it looks like it's a lot worse. $2,000 worse. Okay, not too bad. Insurance, big one there. Big loss on insurance. This is, you're creeping up on $200 a month, just according to this plain Jane example here. Significant difference. Older car, way more power. Next, maintenance and repairs. Between the two, over 10 grand, whereas with the new car, you're looking at 6 grand. So you're losing 4 grand on maintenance and repairs, and that's one of the good things about getting a new car. Those first few years, you're barely touching anything maintenance. You're doing oil changes, tire rotations. Maybe a couple of fluid flushes here or there, whatever it may be. If you're hard on your brakes, probably replace some pads pretty quick. But after looking at it through this lens, I gotta say, as much as Hellcats are awesome, that whine from the supercharger, the speed, the fact you can do Destroyer Gray, I still would go wide body SCAT for $50K or less. Gotta say, customize it a little bit. I'd go red interior, get the plus group, get the driver convenience group, and then maybe one other thing. Boom, perfect. I'd wrap the hood myself. I'd wrap the, do the black accents. How Dodge does it, but they offer for $3,500. I would wrap it myself. So this would pretty much be the spec I get. Boom, right there. Just got to ditch the old sunroof and ditch I believe it was the Harman Kardon for me that I would end up having to ditch. Boom. That is what I would go with right there. Just pretend, it's $3,500. Obviously, wrap would be a lot cheaper. So, let me know what you guys think. $50K Hellcat, used Hellcat, or $50K for a lightly but decently optioned wide body SCAT pack with those $3 grand off for power dollars. Fun fact on Hellcats, Dodge will not sell you a certified pre-owned Hellcat. Check that out. Nothing available. Certified pre-owned Hellcat, these are all SCAT packs. No Hellcat option down here on the left for certified pre-owned. They'll sell you a used Hellcat. They just won't sell you a certified pre-owned Hellcat. And this says SXT, guys, not SRT. So I guess I'm not too surprised that they won't sell certified pre-owned Hellcats. I guess they just assume that they are burnout machines and highway missiles, aka the fastest couch on the highway. Please do keep in mind that the Hellcat we use in this example was just a 2-owner, clean Carfax, 50,000 miles. We didn't go find some crashed Hellcat, So with that being said, let me know what you guys think. $50K, what are you taking? Wide body SCAT, some options, or a used Hellcat that may or may not have been treated well. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys have not checked out our website, realwidebodynation.com, go ahead and jump on there. We've got our monthly payment calculator on here that you can actually jump into and do some calculations yourself. We also have our videos posted up on here. We got some products. We got our SCAT pack mug. We got our t-shirts. I'm wearing a t-shirt right now. They are nice and soft. They're not just some crappy, crinkly cotton t-shirt. We got our resources like we talked about, which will be ever expanding. And then we have our value tab, which has our promotions, your M1 Finance $30 when you guys sign up, invest your first $100. You can buy fractional shares, you can jump on that Tesla bandwagon, and they'll give you an extra $30 on top of that. Or if you're feeling more on just like the stocks, the stock side with getting the free stocks, rolling the dice, you don't want $30, hit up Webull. They'll give you 4 free stocks for funding your account with $100. That is a minimum of $21 value, but a maximum of like some banana $3,700 potentially. Obviously, they got the percentages working against us there for $3,700. But hey, $21 or $30, better than no dollars. So check those out. We also got our social media links down here. We're on YouTube, obviously, Patreon, Instagram, Twitter, and Teespring, like you guys have seen. So check out the website if you guys have a spare moment. Appreciate you tuning in, and I will see you guys for the next video.